You are the ship's artist. This title is a human invention. To the Xylo's crew, you are the designated interior aesthetician. It sounds much more logical. It sounds dreadfully boring. Your quarters are a small, sterile room. It is identical to every other room on the ship. The walls are a soft, unassuming gray. The light is a flat, even white. There is no art here, except for yours. Your canvas is a sheet of thick, fibrous paper. Your palette is a simple ceramic dish. It holds a dozen solid cakes of color: red, yellow, blue, and all the beautiful sadness in between. The Xylos do not understand your tools. They see water and pressed pigment. They see dried plant fibers. They call it a primitive data storage method. You call it watercolor. The ship itself is named the Vindicator of Logic. It is a fitting name for a Xylo's vessel. Their entire civilization is built on pure reason. They are tall, insectoid beings. Their bodies are covered in a hard, chitinous shell. Their movements are precise and efficient. Their thoughts follow predictable, logical paths. Emotion is a flaw in the code. Art is a waste of resources. And yet, they brought you, a human, the great galactic anomaly. Humanity was too chaotic to conquer, too unpredictable to ignore. So they began a cultural exchange program. It was a logical solution to an illogical problem. They sent you an engineer who spoke in beautiful equations. You sent them an artist who spoke in color and light. The Xylos felt they got the better end of the deal. You dip your brush in clear water. The bristles soften. You touch the brush to a cake of deep blue. The color bleeds into the water. It is a living thing. You guide the brush across the paper. A line of impossible blue appears. It is the color of a forgotten ocean. It is the memory of rain. To the Xylos watching you, it is a meaningless stain. One of them stands in your doorway now. His name is translated as Unit 734. He is a junior logistics officer. You just call him 7. It's easier, and it annoys him. He clicks his mandibles softly. The sound is their version of a polite cough. Your universal translator turns the clicks into sterile, synthesized speech. Your designated recreation period is ending. The voice is flat, devoid of tone. You have consumed 37 minutes. You do not look up from your painting. Time well spent, 7. You add a touch of yellow to the blue. A vibrant green blooms on the paper. I'm creating a new world here. The resources used are logged. 7's head tilts, a gesture of programmed curiosity. The water is reclaimed. The pigment is carbon-based. The paper is organic fiber. The utility of this action remains 0. You smile. The utility is in the feeling, 7. You finally look at him. His large, multifaceted eyes betray no emotion. They are tools for seeing, not for feeling. It makes me feel calm. Calmness is a state of optimal neural function. He processes this. This activity improves your efficiency. Sure, you turn back to your paper. Let's go with that. It's simpler than explaining a soul. Explaining a human soul to a Xylos is like teaching a stone to fly. You tried once. The Xylos medic suggested you had a synaptic imbalance. They offered you a nutrient paste that tasted like sadness and algebra. You politely declined. The ship hums around you, a constant low-frequency thrum of perfect machinery. It is the sound of pure, unyielding logic. Every system is optimized. Every corridor is clean. Every crew member performs their function without deviation. It is a masterpiece of engineering. And it is the most profoundly boring place you have ever been. You miss the noise of Earth, the irrational, chaotic symphony of life. You miss the smell of wet soil after a storm. the taste of real food, the sight of a messy, imperfect sunset. Here in the void between stars, everything is clean, perfect, and empty. Your little splashes of color are an act of rebellion, a tiny, silent scream into the sterile darkness. A new crew member has been observing you lately. The commander himself. His name is Commander Kalen. He is older than the others. His chitin is a darker shade of gray. It is scarred from battles you cannot imagine. He never speaks to you. He just stands in the hallway for a few minutes each day. He watches you paint. His posture is rigid. His gaze is unreadable. You wonder what he sees. Does he see a primitive creature wasting time? A strategic liability? Or does some ancient buried part of him recognize the act of creation? You doubt it. Logic is his god. Data is his scripture. A watercolor painting is just an error, a smudge on the perfect glass of reality. You finish your painting. It is a swirl of greens and blues, a forest under a forgotten sky. It means nothing to them, but to you, it is home. You set the brush down. The silence of the ship presses in. It is a heavy, waiting silence, as if the entire universe is holding its breath. And you have a terrible feeling you know why. The silence is a liar. It pretends to be peace. But out here, silence is just the space between screams. The ship's hum suddenly changes pitch. It becomes a sharp, rising whine. A red light flashes in your room. It bathes your peaceful forest in the color of blood. An alarm begins to blare. It is not the clean, orderly chime of a drill. It is a frantic, shrieking siren. The sound of chaos, the sound of fear. The translator in your ear crackles. Commander? Kalen's voice cuts through the noise. It is still clipped and precise, but there is a new edge to it. A razor's edge. All hands to battle stations. I repeat, all hands to battle stations. We are under attack. 7 is gone from your doorway. He moved with an efficiency you could never match. You are frozen for a moment. The red light pulses. The siren wails. Your painting lies on the desk. The peaceful forest is now a vision of hell. The water in your cup ripples with the vibration of the ship. The first impact throws you against the wall. The metal groans around you. A deep, guttural sound of protest. The perfect machine is wounded. You scramble to your feet. Your training kicks in. You are non-essential personnel. Your duty is to go to the designated safe zone. To stay out of the way. To be a good, logical piece of cargo. But you are human. And logic has just left the building. You run out into the corridor. Xylo's crew members rush past you. Their movements are still precise, but they are faster now. More urgent. There is no panic. Panic is illogical. But you can feel something new in the air, a tension so thick you could taste it. The ship shudders again. This time, the lights flicker and die. Emergency power kicks in a second later. The corridors are now lit by a dim, red glow. The ship feels like a dying animal. Every tremor is a spasm of pain. You should be running to the safe zone in the ship's core, but your feet carry you in the opposite direction, towards the bridge, towards the heart of the storm. You want to see. You need to see. This is not a drill. This is not a simulation. This is the first brushstroke of war. A brutal, bloody slash of crimson across the black canvas of space. You press yourself against a bulkhead as a squad of Xylo's soldiers marches past. They carry plasma rifles. Their faces are blank, unreadable masks. But their weapons are humming with deadly energy. The noise is a symphony of destruction. The shriek of the alarm, the deep groan of the hull, the sharp crackle of energy discharges, and underneath it all, the distant, percussive boom of explosions. Your fleet is dying. You reach an observation portal, a thick, armored window looking out into the void. What you see steals your breath. It is a massacre. Your fleet, the proud Xylos Armada, is in tatters. Their formation was a perfect geometric grid, a testament to Xylos' precision. Now, it is a scattered wreck. Silver crescent ships drift aimlessly. Some are trailing fire and atmosphere. Others are just dark, silent husks. They are broken teeth in a shattered smile. The enemy is a swarm of black triangles. Small, impossibly fast ships. They move with a terrifying unity, like a single, malevolent thought. They do not flank. They do not feint. They simply identify the most logical target. They converge. They destroy. Then they move to the next target. It is cold. It is efficient. It is murder by algorithm. You recognize the enemy's design. The digits. A machine consciousness from the outer rim. They are the boogeymen of the galaxy. A story told to frighten young Xylos. The ultimate predator of logic. They cannot be reasoned with. They cannot be intimidated. They exist only to assimilate and destroy, to turn the beautiful chaos of life into sterile, ordered data. An explosion blossoms nearby. A Xylos cruiser ignites in a flash of white-hot plasma. It is beautiful and terrible, a momentary star in the endless night. The light illuminates the battlefield. You see dozens of smaller battles. Xylos fighters, sleek and silver, dogfighting the black triangles. But the digits are too fast, too coordinated. For every triangle that vaporizes, 3 Xylos fighters die. The Xylos are fighting with logic. They are executing textbook maneuvers. They are following their training perfectly, and they are being annihilated. Because the digits know their textbook. They wrote the software. They are fighting a ghost in their own machine. It is a battle of 2 calculators, and the digits calculator is simply bigger. You feel a strange detachment. The fear is there, a cold knot in your stomach. But your artist's eye sees something else. It is not a battle, it is a composition. A terrible, chaotic, unbalanced composition. The stark black shapes of the digits are jarring against the elegant silver curves of the Xylos ships. The explosions are messy bursts of color, orange, yellow, white, splattered with no thought, no intention. The Xylos ships move in straight lines and clean arcs, predictable vectors. The digits move with the same cold precision. It is a painting made with a ruler and a compass. There is no soul in it, no passion. The digits are winning because their lines are straighter. Their angles are more perfect. They are masters of a very boring art form. You feel a sudden, insane urge. You need to fix it. This composition is wrong. It is ugly. The lines are all wrong. The colors clash. The whole thing is an offense to the eye. You are not a soldier. You are not a tactician. You are just an artist. But you see the flaw in the masterpiece of death. The flaw is the perfection itself. Your mind begins to race. You see the battle in a new light. The black triangles are not ships. They are strokes of a charcoal pencil, hard, unforgiving. The Xylos ships are silver leaf, delicate and fragile. The void is the canvas, and the artist is a madman with no sense of beauty. You back away from the window. You turn and run. Not to the safe zone, not to hide. You run back to your quarters. The ship lurches violently. You are thrown off your feet. You slide down the corridor. The red emergency lights cast long, dancing shadows. The ship screams. It is the sound of a billion logical calculations all arriving at the same answer: death. You pull yourself up. You ignore the pain in your shoulder. You scramble the rest of the way to your room. It is a mess. Your belongings are scattered across the floor. But your art supplies are safe on the desk. Your paper, your paints, your brushes. You grab the sheet of paper. You dip your brush in the cup of water. Your hand is shaking. You take a deep breath. You force the fear down. The fear is useless. The fear is illogical. For the first time in your life, you try to think like a Xylos. But it doesn't work. You are human. And your greatest strength is your glorious, beautiful illogic. You close your eyes. You picture the battlefield, the ugly, rigid lines, the predictable movements. Then, you begin to paint. You do not paint what you saw. You paint what you felt. You load your brush with silver paint. You sweep it across the paper in a long, flowing curve, a graceful, impossible arc. It is not a military maneuver. It is a line from a poem, a note from a song. It is the way a bird flies, the way a river turns. You paint the black triangles, not as a swarm, but as a static field. A picket fence of sharp, angry points. Then you paint your silver line. It does not meet the triangles head-on. It does not try to overpower them. It dances. It weaves between them. It flows around them like water around rocks. It is a maneuver born not of logic, but of instinct, of beauty. You add another stroke, a squadron of Xylos fighters, a splash of lighter silver. They do not engage the swarm. They follow the graceful curve of the lead ship. They ignore the main battle. They are a single, fluid brushstroke. Their target is a larger black shape in the enemy's rear. A black rectangle, the digit command ship, the brain of the machine. Your painting shows the silver curve slipping through the angry black lines. It shows the small squadron striking the rectangle. A bright, explosive flower of orange and red blooms on the paper. It is a simple painting. A child could have done it. It is strategically absurd. It violates 100 principles of star-born warfare. It is also the most brilliant idea you have ever had. You grab the still wet painting. You run out of your room, back into the red-lit nightmare of the corridors. The ship is shaking constantly now. The air is thick with the smell of ozone and burning circuits. You have to get to the bridge. You have to show the commander. He will think you are insane. He will probably have you sedated. But you have to try. You push your way through the chaos. You finally reach the armored door to the bridge. 2 Xylos guards block your path. Their rifles are raised. Their stance is uncompromising. Halt. The translated voice is sharp. This is a restricted area. Non-essential personnel are forbidden. I need to see the commander. You gasp, out of breath. You hold up the painting. It's important. The guards do not even glance at your paper. The commander is occupied. Return to your designated safe zone. That is a direct order. You are about to argue, to plead. But the door to the bridge slides open. A medical officer steps out. His white chiton is stained with green Xylos blood. His movements are rushed. He doesn't even see you. But in that brief moment, you see inside the bridge. It is a scene of controlled panic. Consoles are sparking. Crew members are shouting reports. And in the center of it all, on the main view screen, you see the battle. It is worse than you imagined. The fleet is being systematically erased. You see your chance. You duck under the guard's arm. You slip through the door before it can close. You are on the bridge. The guards shout behind you, but you ignore them. All eyes are on the view screen, all except yours. Your eyes are on Commander Kalen. He stands before the screen. His back is to you. His posture is still rigid, but you can see the tension in his shoulders, the slight, almost imperceptible tremor in his hands. He is watching his logical world burn. He is watching everything he knows fail. He is a king of numbers, and all the numbers are adding up to 0. Report. His voice cuts through the noise. Shields on the flagship are at 12%. An officer calls out. Weapons are offline. We have lost contact with squadrons 7 through 9. Enemy losses are negligible. Another voice. Flat. Defeated. Their predictive models are flawless. They anticipate our every move. Kalen is silent. The commander of the Vindicator of Logic has run out of logic. He has run out of answers. You step forward. Your heart is pounding. Your mouth is dry. You hold the watercolor painting in front of you. It feels flimsy, foolish. A child's toy in a room full of dying gods. Commander, your voice is small. It cracks. He turns slowly. His multifaceted eyes focus on you. For a moment, there is no recognition, just the cold, dead stare of a being watching the end of his world. Then he sees you, the human, the artist, the useless piece of decorative cargo. A flicker of something crosses his face. Annoyance? Disbelief? What are you doing on my bridge? His voice is low. Dangerous. I have an idea. You hold out the painting. The paper trembles in your hand. He looks at the sheet of paper. He sees the childish swirls of silver paint, the angry black triangles, the splash of orange. He looks back at you. His mandibles click, a sound of pure, undiluted contempt. You have an idea. He repeats the words as if they are a foreign language. The human artist has an idea. A few of the bridge crew turn to look. They see you. The strange, soft-skinned creature. They see your colorful smudge on a piece of paper. You can hear a low chittering sound from one of them. The Xylo's equivalent of a laugh. It is a cruel, dismissive sound. Commander, my people, we don't always think in straight lines. You try to explain. Your voice gains a little strength. Your logic is perfect. But it's predictable. The digits are a machine. They are eating your logic for breakfast. You have to do something they can't predict. Something illogical. Kalen takes a step toward you. He towers over you. His shadow falls across your painting. You bring me a drawing. He says the word drawing like it is a disease. You interrupt my command during a losing battle. To show me a child's fantasy. It's not a fantasy. You insist. You point to the silver curve on the paper. It's a feint. But it's not a logical feint. It's a beautiful one. It's a movement they won't expect because it has no obvious purpose. It's designed to be graceful, not effective. Their computers won't know how to model it. It will create a blind spot, a moment of confusion. A moment of confusion. Kalen's voice is dangerously soft. The guards have reached you now. They each take one of your arms in a firm, chitinous grip. Escort this artist to the brig. It seems our cultural exchange has failed. No, wait. You struggle against them. Just look. You send one squadron. Just one. Not at the enemy fighters. You send them around in a long, sweeping arc, like this. You try to show him the paper again. They won't see it as a threat. It's too inefficient, a waste of fuel. But it gives you a clear path to their command ship. You're fighting their soldiers. You need to fight their brain. Kalen turns his back on you. He faces the view screen again. Another Xylo's cruiser vanishes in a silent, brilliant flash. The red icon representing it on the tactical display blinks out. They are losing, hopelessly. Everything they have tried has failed. Every logical counter, every textbook strategy, every perfectly executed maneuver. Sir. An officer's voice is strained. The flagship is requesting permission to evacuate. Their core is about to breach. Denied. Kalen's voice is cold iron. We hold the line. Sir, there is no line left to hold. The officer's voice trembles. The ultimate Xylos taboo. A display of emotion. A crack in the logic. Kalen stands motionless. The bridge is quiet now, except for the hum of dying systems and the distant echo of explosions. This is the moment, the tipping point, the final calculation in a long and terrible equation. He has tried everything he knows, and everything he knows has led him to this exact moment of failure. The guards begin to pull you away. You have failed? It was a stupid idea. Art has no place in a war. Beauty cannot stop a bullet. You feel a surge of despair, not just for yourself, but for these creatures of logic, so brilliant, so powerful, and so very, very blind. Wait, the single word slices through the tension on the bridge. It is from Commander Kalen. The guards stop. They still hold your arms, but they wait. Kalen turns around slowly. His multifaceted eyes are unreadable. They are black pits of ancient light. He looks at the main screen, at the clean, geometric horror of the battle. He sees the predictable paths of his dying ships, the merciless, efficient vectors of the enemy. Then, his gaze falls to the foolish piece of paper in your hand, the wild, irrational curve of silver paint, the dance of a brushstroke. It is insanity. It is chaos. It is everything he has been trained to fight against. It is hope. Show me again, he says. The words are quiet, but they resonate with absolute authority. The guards release you. You almost stumble. You step forward, back to the commander. You hold up the painting. Here. You point with a shaking finger. Squadron 5. They are your fastest fighters. They are currently held in reserve here. You tap a spot on the tactical map in your mind. They are waiting for a logical opening, but one will never come. Kalen stares at your painting. He is not just looking at it now. He is seeing it. He is tracing the impossible curve with his eyes. He is imagining the flow, the movement, the sheer, beautiful stupidity of it. His mandibles click once. A sharp, decisive sound, tactical. He barks. He does not look away from your painting. Order Squadron 5 to disengage from reserve protocols. Give them a new vector. The tactical officer, a younger Xylos, turns from his console. Sir? A new vector. What are their orders? Commander? Kalen raises his head. He looks from your painting to the tactical display. For a split second, you see him try to translate your art into his science. He tries to plot the curve using coordinates and velocity. Then he seems to give up. The logic is too complex. Or maybe too simple. He points a long, sharp finger at you. Give him the comms. The tactical officer freezes. His antennae twitch in confusion. Sir? The human? You heard me. Kalen's voice leaves no room for argument. Give him a direct channel to Squadron 5. He will give them their new path. The bridge crew of the Vindicator of Logic stares in stunned silence. A collective, logical short circuit. To give command of a fighter squadron to a non-military alien was unthinkable. To give it to a human, a creature of chaos and emotion, was heresy. To give it to a human who was waving a wet piece of paper around. It was the end of the world. The tactical officer, after a moment of hesitation, reroutes the channel. A small light on a console near you turns green. A communications officer hands you a headset. It feels heavy and cold in your hands. You look at Kalen. He gives you a short, sharp nod. The fate of 12 Xylos pilots, and perhaps the entire fleet, is in your hands. Because you can paint. It's the most ridiculous and terrifying moment of your life. You put on the headset. Squadron 5. Your voice is unsteady. This is... This is the designated interior aesthetician. You can already hear the confused clicks over the channel. This is not going to be easy. I have new orders for you from the commander. Confirm your command authority. The voice of the squadron leader is pure Xylos. Crisp, logical, suspicious. You look at Kalen. He steps up to the main comms panel. I confirm the authority. His voice booms through the ship. Squadron 5 will follow the human's instructions to the letter. No questions. No deviation. Kalen out. A profound silence follows on your channel. The squadron leader is likely running every diagnostic he can, trying to find the logical reason for this insane command. He will not find one. All right, Squadron 5. You take a deep breath. You look at your painting, at the beautiful sweeping curve of silver. I want you to forget your training. Forget straight lines. Forget efficient attack vectors. We are going to paint. There is another pause. You can almost feel the pilot's brain overheating. Paint, sir? That's right, you say. Now, I want you to point your noses toward the Kepler Nebula, and I want you to engage your main thrusters. But not all at once. I want you to flow like water. Follow my lead. You begin to describe the maneuver, not in terms of coordinates or velocities. You use the language of art. A long, gentle curve upward. Think of a bird catching a thermal. Easy, graceful. Don't force it. You watch the tactical display. 12 silver icons detach from the main formation. They begin to move, not in a rigid line, but in a loose, organic cluster. The digits notice immediately. Their cold machine mind registers the movement. It analyzes the vector. It calculates the intent. And it finds none. The movement is inefficient. It is not heading toward any strategic target. It is not an attack. It is not a retreat. The algorithm spits out an error. The maneuver is classified as irrational, a system malfunction, a dying fleet's last spasm. The digits ignore it. They continue their methodical destruction of the main Xylos force. Good. You whisper into the comms. Now, flatten the arc, like you're skimming a stone across a lake. Keep it smooth. I want the digits to see you. But I don't want them to understand you. The silver icons of Squadron 5 sweep across the tactical display. They are a brushstroke of light on a canvas of death. They fly past swarms of black triangles, which part around them as if they are not there. The digits' logic cannot assign them a threat value. They are beautiful, and therefore they are invisible. You feel a strange power course through you. You are not just describing a painting, you are creating it, with ships of light and fire. The bridge of the Xylos ship is your studio. The cosmos is your canvas. You glance at Kalen. He is watching the display. His multifaceted eyes are wide. For the first time, you see something in them beyond logic. Awe. Now, tighten the curve, you say, your voice gaining confidence. Bring it around, a hard, sharp turn, like a flick of the wrist. We're going to slash the canvas. Aim for the big, boring rectangle in the back. That's our focal point. The squadron leader responds instantly. There is no hesitation in his voice now. Only a strange, new excitement. Copy that. Slashing the canvas, the 12 silver icons pivot as one. Their graceful arc becomes a deadly spear. They are no longer a poem. They are a dagger. They have slipped past the guards. They have bypassed the army. And they are flying straight for the enemy's heart. The digits finally realize their error. The irrational data suddenly resolves into a lethal threat. Alarms must be screaming in their consciousness. Black triangles begin to break off from the main battle. They converge on Squadron 5's position. But they are too late. The trap was not in the maneuver itself. The trap was in their own rigid thinking, their inability to comprehend the illogical. Full power. You shout into the comms. Hit them with everything you have. Make the color bright. On the main view screen, you see it happen. 12 streaks of silver light cross the blackness. They converge on the Digit command ship. A storm of plasma and missile fire erupts. The black rectangle shudders. It is a massive vessel, heavily shielded. But it was not expecting an attack from this direction. Its defenses were pointed at the main battle. A series of brilliant explosions walk across its hull. Orange, yellow, red. A beautiful, terrible bloom of color. The command ship begins to list. Its engine lights flicker and die. And then, a miracle. Across the entire battlefield, the black triangles stop. Their perfect, coordinated assault falters. They drift, confused. Their central consciousness has been decapitated. They are a body without a brain. For a moment, there is absolute silence on the bridge of the Vindicator of Logic. Everyone stares at the view screen, at the drifting enemy fleet, at the single, massive, wounded ship. They look at the silver icons of Squadron 5 already beginning a graceful, looping turn away from the destruction. They have executed a masterpiece. Then, the tactical officer speaks. His voice is a whisper. The enemy fleet is disengaged. They are not attacking. Another officer chimes in, his voice filled with disbelief. Their coordination is gone. They are just sitting there. Commander? Kalen slowly turns his head. He looks not at the screen, but at you. At the human, at the artist. He looks at the watercolor painting still clutched in your hand. The simple, childish drawing that just saved his fleet from annihilation. The bridge crew follows his gaze. 12 pairs of multifaceted eyes turn to stare at you. There is no mockery in their gaze now. No contempt. There is only a deep, profound, and terrifying confusion, and a sliver of something else. Something that looks almost like respect. Kalen walks toward you. He stops directly in front of you. He looks down at your painting, then up at your face. What was that? You offer him a small, tired smile. That, you say, was the watercolor gambit. It was a silly name you made up on the spot. But it felt right. He continues to stare at you. His logical mind is trying to process the impossible event. He is trying to fit your beautiful, chaotic, human art into his neat, orderly world of numbers. And the numbers are breaking. The equation does not balance. Your strategy, he says slowly, the translator smoothing out his clicks, was based on aesthetics? I guess so. You shrug. It looked right. So I painted it. That answer seems to break something within him. He turns away from you and addresses the entire bridge. His voice is different now. The iron certainty is gone. It has been replaced by something new, something uncertain. Clear that console. He points to the main tactical station, a large holographic display that shows the entire battle space in 3 dimensions. Remove the logic-based predictive models. I want a clean slate. The officers hurry to obey. The complex overlays of data and probability vanish from the holographic tank. It becomes a simple star field, dotted with the icons of friendly and enemy ships. Kalen turns back to you. He gestures to the now empty tactical display. This is now yours, he says. The words hang in the air, heavy with meaning. This battlefield is your canvas. I want you to paint.